Hello, hello. So we are here, you guys. It is the celebration of 3 years that Mzizi4Life, which is now Quality of Life and Recovery LLC, or the Quality of Life and Recovery Center, or the Quality of Life and Recovery Podcast, has been in existence. And so this was scheduled to be a summit when I actually created, or when Mzizi4Life Coaching Solutions was created. It launched with a summit where we had, I think, 10 different speakers there to just share about their experiences on different life categories. It turned out to be a 3-hour event. But as you know, things go along with the development of an initiative. And so it was a little hard for me to pull it together this year, but I just wanted to do this live or do this recording in order to celebrate the growth of this initiative. And so, as I mentioned, it started out as Mzizi4Life Coaching Solutions. Actually, my name is Eddie O Show on my Instagram handle. That's my social media name. I'm also go by the Experiential One. I am also called Jimmy Experiential. That's my podcast name. But my mother calls me James. So my name is James Edwards. And I am the co-founder of Mzizi4Life Coaching Solutions. Mzizi actually means the root in Swahili. And Mzizi4Life Coaching Solutions started out as a values-driven experiential approach to life coaching. And I was so motivated by all that I learned as a result of, my interest into the life coaching field, that I decided to actually make it a business, an online entrepreneurial endeavor. I acquired the LLC licensure, and it became Quality of Life and Recovery LLC. And so, yeah, so just here to talk about, all that I've learned in the 3 years that I have been developing this initiative. I do want to say that by day, I'm a licensed associate counselor. And so, to all my behavioral health professionals out there, this is strong encouragement to consider life coaching as a method to find out a little bit more about the business and the marketing end of mental health services, to find out a little bit more about how social media platforms can be used to advance the agenda of behavioral health, in regard to just reducing stigma. And so that happens to be one of my favorite areas, by the way, is intake and assessment. And so one of the goals of Quality of Life and Recovery LLC is to reduce some of the myth and stigma that surrounds behavioral health, psychiatric evaluation and assessment. Psychological fitness has to become just as important as physical fitness in our homes, in our families, and in our communities. It's picked up a really strong narrative in the last 3 years since COVID. And so that kind of brings me back to how this initiative began. So it was in the midst of 2020, in the height of COVID. It actually emerged as a result of my own experience with grief. During COVID, I lost my grandfather. I did not lose him to COVID. He lived a very long and productive life. My grandfather is a proud Church of God in Christ minister, teacher, and evangelist. He was very present in media spaces in the time that he was alive. He loved the camera, loved the radio, and loved being visible. He valued visibility. But he also had his mind on the ROI, the return on investment. And he understood that church was about, and the ministry was about saving souls, but it also was it couldn't run without resources. So he always had his mind on the money. And one of the questions that he always had for me, I think he respected the idea that I am a first generation college graduate. Pat yourself on the back, James, for that one. First generation college graduate, but I never really had an entrepreneurial mindset like the majority of my family. Majority of my family are business owners, entrepreneurs, creators, you name it. We got it all. In my family history, but my grandfather always wanted to know like why I had the interest in working for someone else. He can be described as one of the original self-made men. He had created his own world and means of sustaining himself and his family. He had his own church. He had his own business. He was a licensed barber, owned a few different barbershops, and his business endeavors were so successful that he was able to pass down his businesses to some of my cousins. And so a lot of his entrepreneurial endeavors are still alive and thriving. And so it's his church. Unfortunately, his church is not pastored by one of our family members, but the church is still a historic monument in the city where I'm from, and it's still, still upstanding and thriving. And so, but he always wanted to know why I never wanted to have my own business. And honestly, very apologetically, I just didn't have that interest. I was really, really comfortable working for someone. But when he left, when he died and made his transition, I figured what would be the best way for me to keep his legacy alive. And boom, in comes life coaching, my introduction to life coaching. So in the process of me grieving his death, honestly, I got this revelation standing at the top of the stratosphere in Las Vegas, one of my favorite hotels, by the way. And I'm looking down and I'm thinking to myself, what can I do to honor my grandfather's life? It was a very personal period of reflection for me. That trip, I enjoyed Vegas. I'm not really a fan of Las Vegas, but that particular trip, I enjoyed myself. But it's primarily because of the spiritual revelation that I got, the personal revelation that I got while I was there. And I got back, and lo and behold, an old coworker of mine reached out to me, and she said, James, she emailed me. She said, James, I'm moving into life coaching. I'm starting my own life coaching business. And I'm having a class, starting a cohort. I want you to be a part of it. I'm going to give you the licensure for free. That is Dr. Harris. I'm sending her a shout out. Love you, Dr. Harris. You just don't know how that opportunity has expanded and enriched my life. And so I took the class, got trained in solution focused life coaching. And I completed the class, and then I said, look, I'm gonna get into this. And so I started following a number of different life coaches that are present on social media. And I had no idea how vast and big of an opportunity life coaching would be. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to take a swig of coffee because I need a quick booster. And so, again, I had no idea um, how big life coaching and popular life coaching really was, especially in social media places. And so I started following a number of different people. I just want to take this opportunity to give a shout out to a number of different life coaches that I follow. I think Terrence Jones, Scott, can't remember his name. Were some of the first life coaches that I contacted and did a one-on-one 15-minute call with. gave me some of their time originally. Some of the individuals that I continue to follow today: John Lee, let me shout out Stormy Wellington, Color Weed Crazy out of Puerto Rico, The Angry Therapist, Justin Williams, Evan Carmichael, Lewis Howes, Dr. Dispenza, and Andrew Huberman. Are really life coaches, educators, neuroscientists, and therapists that I continue to follow today. And they continue to motivate me to move into this life coaching, behavioral change, health and wellness space. And so in the creation of Mzizi4Life Coaching Solutions, I realized the importance of having a theoretical orientation. And as I mentioned, it started out as solution focused, with a solution focused theory. And so I did some research in that area for a while. And there is Elliot Connie, my man, Elliot Connie, gotta shout him out. He is the guru in the solution focused space. And so he already pretty much had that lane covered. And so I'm thinking to myself, what is going to be my theoretical approach? And so I found out a little bit about experiential learning. In comes the experiential one and Jimmy Experiential, which is my podcast name. And so experiential learning is really all about capitalizing on the human experience. Most importantly, it has 4 different phases. You have the concrete experience. You go through a period of reflection, the part that I actually love. You reflect upon what you experienced. And in that period of reflection, you develop new meaning. And then you make some personal adjustments to yourself in the way that you understand the world and the way you understand others, and the way that you understand yourself. And you go back into the experience, and hopefully you have a new encounter, an improved experience based upon the reflection that you've done. And so that's the experiential learning curve, or the experiential learning cycle. And so I also decided to lean on acceptance and commitment theory, which is actually founded by Stephen Hayes. And Stephen Hayes contends that an individual will never commit to long-term change unless it's something that they value on deeply on in the inner recesses of their hearts. And so I came up with the tagline: values driven, experiential approach to life coaching. And so I did some work in life coaching, I want to say for about year, 2 years. And in the midst of this, I've always had a full-time job as a either some level of mental health clinician. And as a result, I went ahead and took the state licensure exam, and I'm now a state licensed associate counselor in the state where I reside. And I'm in the process of completing the direct hours and getting the direct supervision to acquire the professional licensure. Right before I shot this video, I was on a 1 hour supervision at 6:30 in the morning. That's how committed I am. And those last 4 supervision, clinical supervisions last for an hour. And that's where you meet with someone who has a higher level of licensure than you, and you go through your theoretical orientation. You talk about challenges and concerns that you have with specific clients. And so it's an interesting process. For my level of licensure in the state that I'm in, you have to go through, I think, 1,400 hours. So you have to give 1,300 direct supervision hours, and then you have to get 1,300 direct hours. That's where you're providing clinical services to a client. And then you have to go through 100 hours of supervision. So a whole lot of paperwork. I always tell people, let me take another swig of coffee real quick. I always tell people behavioral health is an amazing field. So many opportunities, so many things you can do. But you should be prepared for the paperwork. I had no idea of the administrative requirements of behavioral health. And so, but it kind of makes me think about, all of the paperwork that, and when I say administrative requirements, I'm just thinking about how much time I actually spend on a computer in front of a computer screen. But I think that goes with most professions today. There's just a lot of paperwork that has to be done. So it makes me think about what lawyers do and other higher level health professionals like doctors and nurses. I'm sure they have a ton of paperwork as well. But anyone thinking about coming into the field, of course, we are understaffed and there is a growing need and growing popularity for mental health services. But again, life coaching is an excellent segue into the field, and it's really given me an interesting foundation. So, just again, I wanted to focus on the importance of theoretical orientation. Having a theory that serves to as a framework for your mission and some of your goals and your objectives. Now, also really important to life coaching I learned is branding. Had no idea what branding is. So that's figuring out the color scheme, figuring out your logo, your tagline. And so it's really amazing how all of that just kind of came together for me. But I really feel like I got a really, cool logo, really cool tagline. And I feel like my theoretical orientation is also very, very solid. Uh, so of course, just some information for my aspiring clinicians. I have only been in the field for 5 years. I'm moving into my sixth year. I graduated in 2018 with a degree in clinical mental health counseling. Very interesting experience as well, but I'm not disappointed. I really love the field and just really excited about all that is can possibly happen with behavioral health as it relates to life coaching, personal development, and personal improvement. So, moving on, I was going to attempt to be here and talk for a whole hour, but we'll see how that goes. So, moving on, I started doing I created a couple of social media platforms for Mzizi4Life. I also created a channel and I started out doing coaching circles where I would invite other mental health professionals into a space and we would talk about the solution focused approach. I did coaching collaboratives where there would be myself and two other clients and or behavioral change enthusiasts and we would talk about solution focused approaches as well. And so I did some experiential interviews with people. You can go to the Mzizi4Life Coaching Solutions YouTube channel and check those out. I'm proud to say that I have a pretty impressive catalog to date as a result of some of the work that I was doing with Mzizi4Life. And I also want to say that in regards to theoretical orientation, I wanted to develop something that was for the benefit and usefulness of Black people. And so I decided to ground Mzizi4Life in the ancient African teachings of Ma'at. I want to shout out some of the great Afrocentric scholars and theorists like Dr. Malana Karinga, who is the one of the founders of Ma'at and did some not founder, but he did some research in ancient African theory and approaches. I want to shout out Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Yosef Ben Yochanan, and Dr. Chancellor Williams, who wrote The Destruction of a Black Civilization. And so I wanted to create an initiative or a life coaching approach that was grounded in ancient African teachings. When it comes to Ma'at, I think one of the things that really stuck out for me was the ideal of perfectibility, and the teachability of man and the creation of the God figure within, which I think is really, really important when it comes to behavioral health, because when we get a diagnosis or you have some type of major life setback, you experience some type of life challenge. If you've been following me, you know how I have my concerns with how we use the T word. The T word is trauma. We overemphasize the human experience and trauma, and so I try not to use that word so much. But if you've had some type of challenge in life setback, you lose the idea of how amazing just a human being is. And many of us, in spite of our shortcomings and our setbacks, we are perfect. The mind of a human being and our physicality is an amazing construct. And so I wanted to have a theoretical framework that honored that. Excuse me, I just burped on camera. That was really gross, but I do have some manners. So I wanted to have a scholastic or academic or theoretical approach that honor that. And so teachability, perfectibility are some of the concepts that are explored within the ancient African theory of Ma'at. And so Mzizi4Life Coaching Solutions and Quality of Life and Recovery LLC is grounded in the ancient African teachings of Ma'at. And so with quality of life. Where are we going? Where are we headed? And so, of course, I'm really excited about the Quality of Life and Recovery podcast. Again, just going back to theoretical approaches, the Quality of Life and Recovery LLC is actually founded on some of the concepts that were derived from the World Health Organization Quality of Life Questionnaire. There is also a quality of life scale, which was produced by this guy named John Flanagan. He was an astropsychologist, I believe, in the 70s, developed this scale. The Quality of Life and Recovery Questionnaire, or the Quality of Life Questionnaire, not Recovery Questionnaire yet. The Quality of Life Questionnaire has 6 different domains with 24 different facets. And so what I did was, in order to give the initiative, kind of like a framework and some topics to focus on from month to month, is I took those 6 different domains and merged them with some of the concepts that we discussed in the solution focus wheel, and I merged them to come up with 12 different concepts that will cover us for the entirety of the year. As I mentioned, some initiatives have slow starts and setbacks. And so with quality of life, I didn't actually begin until March. And so topics for February, we didn't really get a chance to cover, but we kicked in March, and we had a podcast in April. The Quality of Life and Recovery category for the month of April was spirituality. No, actually, it's religion versus spirituality and personal beliefs. That's actually the 6th domain in the Quality of Life questionnaire. And so next month, the month of May, the Quality of Life category is going to be psychological well-being. Really, really excited about that. Let me look real quick at my notes. We are going to have on the Quality of Life podcast is going to be Emile Nicole, and she has written an amazing book called Cutters. And so once this video is posted, I will have that link for you to purchase her book, for you to support her work. She is going to be on the Quality of Life and Recovery podcast. That's the third Sunday, usually of the month. I try to record those podcasts. And so look forward to that coming up in May. And there's just going to be a number of different events. And also, if you would like to be a guest on the Quality of Life and Recovery podcast, you can email me at for life at qlrcllc.info. That's the number 4LIFE at qlrcllc.info if you'd like to be a guest on the Quality of Life and Recovery podcast. And speaking of ways to scale your business and to move into this virtual creator space, creating a podcast is an excellent way to do that. And then also just be able to meet some pretty interesting people. And so, I don't know, I've had a couple of speaking gigs. I'm really excited about the opportunity to move forward in that space as well. I am not only a mental health professional by day, but I am also your neighborhood Organifi juice distributor. Uh, Another way to, leverage your income, bring a little bit more money into the home so you can get your Organifi Gold or your Organifi Green Juice here. Excellent health supplements. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is go ahead and try some. I don't think I've actually ever really tried the Organifi Gold here before, but if you want to become an Organifi juice distributor, they will send you out. Well, they won't send it for free. You have to pay for it, but you get this starter kit. And again, I mentioned it's just a way. I'm going to try the Organifi Gold. I've never tried it before. Almost knocked the cut down from my lap. Never tried the Organifi Gold before, so we're going to try it. What you do is you just pour the contents in like this. Forgot to mention Tabitha Brown. She is another health enthusiast that really encourages and inspires me. I'm going to shake it up. I think Terrence Jones is another guy that I tend to follow. Got your core water here. Core, kick in for your boy. Endorse an educator, creator, a healthy life change enthusiast. I am making a mess, y'all. Check it out. Filling it up a little bit. I like to add the honey supplements. I found these. I spent the weekend in, I always forget the name of the place, in Nevada. And they got these honey sticks, or you can always go with the agave, add a little agave for a little flavor. So as I mentioned, I am also your Organifi juice distributor, anything to promote health and wellness. Of course, Quality of Life and Recovery LLC is for the health of all people, but I really wanted to focus on those individuals between the ages of 45 and 65. Again, leaning on a theoretical approach, a theoretical concept that comes from Erik Erikson's 8 stages of psychosocial development. And individuals in that age gap are in the process of or in a life change between generativity and stagnation. So generativity means that you are doing things to contribute to the community. and provide value for generations following you. And stagnation means that you are not. Basically, you are growing old. And so I don't want to do that. I call myself a modern elder. I've even been looking at the way that my face is filling out as you get older. If I look at, if you film yourself, if you get in the habit of recording yourself and, doing Zoom videos, you can really get an idea of the, changes that you go through, both physically. So you got to be prepared for the critique. Uh, and the self critique. So don't be too hard on yourself. But this is the Organifi Gold. I'm gonna try it. It's got a lot of feedback at the top, but it says "Woo, nourish and abundance." Let's try it too. Okay, pretty light, tasting but good. It has kind of like I want to say like a coconut taste to it. Um, but the Organifi Gold is good for rest and relaxation. Um, and the ingredients, it does contain tree nuts or coconut. I guess that's why it tastes like coconut. Organic vanilla flavor, and other natural flavors. But it has vitamin D, protein, dietary fiber. So pretty good. It's a superfood dietary supplement. So Jimmy Experiential, which is me, is also your neighborhood Organifi juice distributor. So that's one thing that we're doing. I'm really excited to tell you guys that a platform for the Foundation for Forgiveness is being created as we speak. It's actually going to be an online course, so you guys can look for that. It'll probably be on the QLRC LLC website. That's www.qlrcllc.com. And guess what else we have, you guys? Really excited about this. We got t-shirts. Check it out. So this is my first run of the t-shirts. Honestly, I've been working on a t-shirt since I first started. But this is what the t-shirts looks like. And so these first t-shirts are going to go to some of my original supporters, primarily my mom. Love her a ton. She is also my favorite critic. Uh, but I just want to give a shout out to family and friends. Anybody who's ever started a small business knows that it's not cheap, it's not inexpensive. I almost went through some periods of homelessness. But I just want to send a shout out to my family and friends that have supported me financially. It's really important to have those people in your life. So that's who these t-shirts are going to go out to. But we got t-shirts, you guys. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about the opportunity to expand and make some growth in this health and wellness space. And so we got a new website coming up. The course is going to be released, Foundation for Forgiveness. And on August 20th, we are going to focus on the N in the word forgiveness. Again, I mentioned that a course was created called the 11 Steps to for Your Foundation for Forgiveness. It's actually an ebook that was released. I'm going to post that link once I post this video as well. And so guess what, y'all? So this is my first time recording on the Quality of Life channel. And so it takes 24 hours in order for you to be cleared to do a live now. Amazing, because that wasn't the case when I started the Mzizi4Life channel. I've done a few lives on that channel, but that channel is still there. If you guys want to go back and look at any of the videos there, please do so. If you want to like and subscribe, please do so. You can go to the Mzizi4Life Instagram page, like and subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook there as well. And you can also like and subscribe to QLRC LLC Facebook, QLRC.LLC on Instagram, and QLRC LLC also have a YouTube channel where this video is going to be posted. And so you'll be able to find the ebook there, the guide, 11 steps to creating your foundation for forgiveness, that was written specifically for life coaches, pastoral counselors and therapists, primarily for new clinicians that are moving into the field. I have a number of different approaches to behavior change listed in that guide. So please purchase it. It's only $5. $5, you guys. You can get that for $5. And then next month, just look for the Quality of Life and Recovery podcast. We are going to have Emile Nicole there, and she is going to be talking about psychological well-being, which is the quality of life category for the month of May. I think May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. And so check us out. And then on August 20th, I forgot to mention, I just got caught up in talking. On August 20th, we are going to focus on the N in forgiveness, which is the neurobiology of forgiveness. We're going to do a one-on-one into body and brain health, talking a little bit about how the brain influences our behavior as it relates to forgiveness. So we're going to get into the 3 brain and the 2 brain theory on August 20th. So we're going to focus on, it's going to be called the Neurobiology of Forgiveness. If you'd like to register for that course overview, you can find that on Eventbrite. Just look for the Neurobiology of Forgiveness on Eventbrite, and that's going to be August 20th. It's only going to be an hour-long course overview, but I'm also going to roll out the Foundation to Forgiveness course at that particular time. So it will be up, constructed, and developed. So will the QLRCLLC.com website. And so again, people, if you have any questions, if you'd like to be a guest, or if you want to collaborate or sponsor or endorse this initiative, you can always go to F.O.R.G.I.V.E.N.E.S.S at QLRCLLC.info. That's the number 4life at QLRCLLC.info, and email me, and I will be happy to respond. And so I don't think I quite made it to the 1 hour mark, but it is 45 minutes after. This was supposed to be a YouTube live, but if you're starting a new YouTube channel, I guess it takes 24 hours. And so I didn't request to go live until like 11 o'clock last night. And so I won't be able to post it as a live or do any lives on the QLRC LLC YouTube channel until 11 o'clock tonight, but I'm going to upload this video to the QLRC.LLC platform or website, and you'll be able to, that's where you'll be able to view the video. So all of the links to the book is going to be there. If you want to participate in the course overview on August 20th, go to Eventbrite and look for the Neurobiology of Forgiveness by yours truly, Jimmy Experiential, or the Experiential One, or Eddie O Show. So you guys, I want to thank you just for tuning in and listening to me ramble and rant about my excitement in the field of health and wellness. Hey, let me take one more swig of this Organifi Gold. Mm. It's just dripping everywhere. And so Organifi, y'all got to work on this juice container thing. It's a little on the leaky side. Got water all in my lap. But that's all I have, you guys. Please like and subscribe. Tell friends and family. If you know somebody who needs to forgive or would like to learn a little bit more about forgiveness, please invite them to the Neurobiology for Forgiveness, which you can find on Eventbrite. We're going to roll out the course at that time. I'm always available as your life coach, your behavioral change enthusiast, your life coaching advocate, right? I encourage everybody to try and get a life coach. They're not cheap, but yours truly, Jimmy Experiential. Wishing you all the best in the world that the life has to offer on this early Sunday morning. And I am signing. Check out this t-shirt, y'all. Ain't it kind of dope? Look, look at the side and look at the back. Pretty cool, right? Until next time, good people. Have a good evening.